Moving on, former Chiefs offensive coordinator, former Commanders offensive coordinator, Eric Bieniemy takes a job. Not a head coaching job. Well, slightly. He's the offensive coordinator and associate head coach at UCLA. If you remember, UCLA just hired their one-star running back, Deshaun Foster, as their new head coach. It's a great grab for Deshaun Foster. But my question, when I hear Eric Bieniemy takes a job in college, mind you, as an offensive coordinator, what are we missing? What are we missing in the story of Eric Bieniemy, who cannot, for whatever reason, find himself an NFL head coaching job? And it's not as if they aren't given head coach. I'm not going to say given, right? Guys earned it. But more teams, more ownerships have been more willing to go with guys who did not have experience, young, 30s, early, mid-30s, late 30s, early 40s, head coaching positions. I don't think it's even anymore about being black or white. Gerard Mayo, head coach. Canales, head coach. We saw last year, D'Amico Ryans, head coach. Antonio Pierce, head coach. So they're hiring black head coaches with little to no experience. And Eric Bieniemy is a guy who comes from the Andy Reid tree. And that's weird because guys from like the McVay tree, it's like if McVay farted and you sniffed his fart, they're like, oh, we're hiring that guy. And Kyle Shanahan, if Kyle Shanahan burped and you smell, we're hiring that guy. And it's like Andy Reid got a damn good tree too. Eric Bieniemy comes with 2 Super Bowls. Whether or not he called the plays on game day or not, he was in the process of planning them, designing them. Players raved about how much they loved him in Kansas City. So I'm trying, and maybe you guys have an answer more than me. Leave it in the comments. Hit me up on Twitter. Hit me up on Facebook. Hit me up on Instagram. Leave the comments on the YouTube. But I'm trying to figure out what are we missing? Did Eric Bieniemy sleep with somebody old lady? Is he interviewing that bad? I'm sure the guy knows how to run an offense, design plays. You can't tell me that these other guys who are just getting starting spots, they're going to learn on the job too. Antonio Pierce is going to learn on the job. Gerard Mayo is going to learn on the job. All these first-year coaches are learning on the job. Yeah, they're going to come in and they're going to be able to reach back to the guys that they came from, the coaches that they came from, and be able to say, all right, what should I do right here? How should I play this? They don't know. They never had a head coaching job. I remember famously when God, who was the coach? He used to be the Bengals wide receiver coach. He ended up going to like Grambling as a head coach, but he had got a head coaching job. And I remember him, they were doing Hard Knocks. And he remember talking about, he goes, coaches are saying that guys need to practice. Hugh Jackson. Remember Hugh Jackson saying he's standing in front of the meeting room and all of the assistants are like, oh, this guy needs to practice, And he was like, he's resting. He goes, I know you guys, I sat in your seats before. And you guys want guys to practice because they're in your position and you want those guys out there, He says, but it falls back on me. If that guy's not available on Sunday, it falls back on me. So all of these guys who don't have, they're going to learn on the job. So I don't know what's happening with Eric Bieniemy. I'm sure he's qualified. He's been around the league. He's played in the league. He's been around the league. He's been under Andy Reid for years. He's won Super Bowls. He's coached Patrick Mahomes, Travis Kelce, and others. I'm sure he understands and knows what the hell that goes on a day in a day. I'm sure he understands how to put a practice plan together, how they put an offseason together. And what he does not know, hey, Andy, I got a question. You think Andy's not going to take his call? I mean, he got a job at UCLA. I don't know, great. That's a great hire for Deshaun. But there's something that we're missing, and we need to do like a Tom Rinaldi. We need to do like a Diane Sawyer 60-minute. We need a deep dive to what the hell is happening, because no one has had an answer. No one has had an answer on why. First it was race, then it was this, then it was that. I don't know. I damn sure would like to know, though. That for sure. I think he's a good coach. I do. I think he's a good coach. But we'll see. But shout out to Eric Bieniemy at UCLA.